Well, Kevin Feige has finally come out and just said what we've all been thinking for a very long time and just confirmed it. The next saga is going to be focused on the mutants. I mean, he's pretty much confirmed this before, but this is him straight up just saying, hey, next is the mutants and the Fantastic Four. And it sounds like they've already got pretty decent plans ready for Phase 7, or if we do a reboot of the MCU, possibly Phase 1. But one thing that is actually super awesome about the next saga that we're about to dive into is that it's not really just the mutant saga, but what it really is a big victory for Marvel Studios, because this will be the first time that they can build a universe from scratch if they want. We know they're doing a reboot, but we know some characters will probably survive, like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, of course. But building up this new, slightly rebooted universe from scratch for the most part, being able to do anything they want, being able to use any and all characters that they want to use, from the Avengers, from the Fantastic Four, from the X-Men, from basically anywhere. It's really just a huge victory for us fans, and of course for Marvel Studios. And Marvel Studios is going to set up the new saga, this saga, according to the Marvel president himself, Kevin Feige. So let's go over what he said about the future of the MCU when he made a live virtual appearance at the opening day of the Disney APAC Content Showcase. Kevin Feige appeared on screen to a big crowd wearing a blue Fantastic Four hat, and when asked what he was most excited for in 2025, he pointed to his hat and said this: "Finally, we're bringing Marvel's first family into the MCU." And for those who don't know, when he says finally, he really means finally. And we're not just talking about Marvel Studios having a bunch of delays over the last few years, but he means that he finally gets to make this movie. He's talked about this movie a lot, and it's basically his baby. So he's super looking forward to this. And when he says finally, this is like him working on the X-Men film, the first one in year 2000, and him wanting to do a Fantastic Four movie set in a universe with everyone else, the X-Men and the Avengers. So finally, when he says that, it's a big finally, and he says, finally, we're bringing Marvel's first family into the MCU. They wrap next week. So big update right there. The Fantastic Four ends filming next week. He says the movie comes out next summer, and then all those characters go right into the next Avengers movies. So I'm very excited for the future of the Fantastic Four. So confirmation right there. We already knew this, but in case anybody is doubting, Kevin Feige himself says the Fantastic Four are appearing in the next Avengers movies, plural. So Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. He also said this about the Thunderbolts, which I found very interesting. He said that the Thunderbolts is what Marvel is all about. It's taking characters from all different types of places and franchises and putting them together. That's what the Avengers is. That's what Guardians of the Galaxy is. And the Thunderbolts already looks like a great movie, so I'm really excited for it. But here's where he started to talk about bringing the X-Men into the MCU. When asked about it, he said this: "I think you will see that continues in our next few movies with some X-Men players that you might recognize. After that, the whole story of Secret Wars really leads us into a new age of mutants and of the X-Men. Again, it's one of those dreams come true. We finally have the X-Men back." And again, I just want to emphasize that when Kevin Feige says finally, he really means it, because he was there at Marvel in the beginning with that first X-Men film. He did so much until he ultimately went on to create the MCU, where he couldn't use these other characters that he already made movies with, like Wolverine. So this is a big win. In fact, he even stated about Deadpool and Wolverine, he said, when we first started working on the film for the first time, we wanted to see Wolverine in a yellow costume. I had goosebumps on set when he walked out wearing that costume and put on that mask for the first time. I've been waiting 25 years to bring that to life. Again, yeah, he started working on that first X-Men film 1998, 1999. Then it came out in 2000. So it really is quite an incredible story for not only Kevin Feige, but of course fans as well. Now, if you are a Disney Parks fans, there are some things that he said regarding the parks that I'll let you go ahead and just Google. If you want to read the entire thing, just type in Disney Kevin Feige APAC Content Showcase held in Singapore. You can check that out, but let's focus back on what Kevin Feige said about the X-Men. He said a lot here because he confirmed actually two things. One is he confirmed that we're about to see some X-Men in some upcoming Marvel movies. Now, let's get the two obvious ones off the table, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. We obviously know X-Men are going to show up in those movies, but this means that it's very possible for some X-Men to potentially show up in Captain America Brave New World or the Thunderbolts. It's already been confirmed by the footage that was shown at D23 both in America and Brazil that for Captain America Brave New World they are introducing adamantium. And of course, I think many people, when you hear adamantium, you automatically think Wolverine's claws, or his entire skeleton, basically. I mean, we did just watch on screen Deadpool kill many people with his adamantium bones. Well, of course, Deadpool and the previous X-Men movies already introduced adamantium, but it hadn't been in the MCU basically until Captain America Brave New World. Yes, I know Deadpool and Wolverine takes place in the MCU, and now technically the Fox X-Men 10,005 universe is now in the MCU, but this is the first time we're really seeing it in the main timeline, our 616 timeline. So having the X-Men or a X-Men or a few of them in that movie would make a lot of sense. But another one that I'm actually really looking forward to is the Fantastic Four, because I do think, since we know this film is taking place in the past in a retro futuristic world that's in a different universe, some X-Men could show up there. I actually think that would be a pretty great place for them to show up since it is an alternate reality. It's a different universe. The same thing goes for if they release a Doctor Strange 3, which we believe they're doing. We just don't know if that's coming before or after Doomsday. But based off of what we know about Doctor Strange and the ending / post-credit scene of Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange did go to another universe to try and fix an incursion. He is jumping around the multiverse with Clea, and Multiverse of Madness already did show us some X-Men. Or one at least. But since it's going to be so deep into the multiverse saga by that point, we are assuming he'll be multiverse hopping again and be seeing some variants, and hopefully some of those are X-Men. So that gets me even more excited. We are going to be seeing some X-Men before Secret Wars. But what Kevin Feige said that is super exciting is basically what we've all been waiting for. They finally have the X-Men back, and after the story of Secret Wars, that's going to lead us directly into the new age of mutants and the X-Men. So boom, confirmation. The next saga is the mutant era of the MCU. It's going to be fantastic. Finally, the Avengers with the X-Men with the Fantastic Four. I'm not sure if he wants to bring the Inhumans in there, but he could. Really, right now, the only limitations are Spider-Man, since Sony owns the rights, but they're working really well with Marvel right now, so shouldn't be any issues there. So overall, the future of the MCU looks super amazing and exciting. We have a lot to look forward to with the next saga, but also finishing the multiverse saga. Sounds like it's going to be pretty epic. Can't wait to see RDJ return as Dr. Doom, and the X-Men show up in some other movies as well. But go ahead, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited for this? Are you not? If you're not, tell me why. But leave all your thoughts in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news, rumors, or leaks. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.